This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Zinger travel trailer, model 290 KB. So let's check it out here. So here at the door side rear, we've got a kitchen. We have two burners, or is it three? Two burners. You have running water, a refrigerator. Okay, and keep in mind down here, you also have a hookup, a gas hookup here for that to tap into the gas system. So that's a quick connect. Okay. Also, we have power stabilizers. Right. One switch controls both rear, and another switch controls both front. The switch up front. Okay. Now, let's walk up here for a second. This, I don't know if you can see it here. Let me see if I can tear the plastic off. Well, I'll just show you. Hopefully you can see that. This has this crank has a slot cut in it, right? So you can go around to the other side of the off-door side area of the stabilizers. And you can see there's a shaft with a pin sticking through it. You can crank these jacks, these power stabilizer jacks. You can crank them manually if something happens to them. You know, for whatever reason they stop working. You can always get them up and down by cranking them manually. Also, this power tongue jack does the same thing. You can see there's a plug here. If you pull this rubber plug off, there's a hex there where you can put this crank right here onto it, right? So you can stick it right on there, and you can crank that manually too in an emergency. So you can always get hitched and unhitched also. Okay? Now, going back to where we were, this is just an outside shower slash sprayer. This is a black tank flush. After you dump your black tank is toilet water and waste, of course. After you dump it, you can leave the valve open. Like it states here, make sure you leave the valve open. You can put the hose in the dump station right on here, turn it on, and it'll spray out the inside of your black tank, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. So it's a really good thing to do. That's your black tank flush. This is just TV signal out and power if you wanted to put a TV out here. That's your furnace vent. This is your fresh water tank fill. Now, the most common way to get water to the trailer, of course, is the city water hookup, which is on the other side. If you're camping someplace without city water, like you're boondocking or any place that doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water, but you'll be pumping it from the tank. So I'll show you where the water pump switch is at when we get inside, okay? And where it says quick drain here, it's the white gate valve right there. That's to dump your fresh water tank when you're done. Let's say you're traveling home and you don't want to carry the weight, you can just dump it right there. Okay? Of course, that's your front stabilizers. You have a power awning with an LED strip. Of course, I showed you the tongue jack. You have two LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator, a deep cycle marine battery, and then of course the kill switch for your battery. So you can shut the battery off right there if you choose to. Also keep in mind that this little attachment over here, this little hookup, is for a solar panel. If you wanted to add a solar panel battery charger, just a little portable kit that would do nothing but charge your battery, that's where you would plug it in. That one's made by Go Power, I believe. Yeah, Go Power. So their kit would fit on there if you were to purchase that. Okay? All right. So you have your dump hose, and you have this little reducer here to reduce your shore cord down to a 20 amp plug if you need to plug it in at home or whatever. All right. Moving on. This is your shore cord, of course, 30 foot and 30 amp. This is your city water hookup right here that we talked about. These are your dump valves here, your gray and your black tank. All right. This is the water heater here. The switches to control it are inside the trailer. I'll show you that when we get in there. But right now, This water heater is empty. You can see there's the cap and there's where you drain it. So it's empty right now and is bypassed, meaning that the valves in the back of the water heater are in bypass mode, so it's winterized. Keep in mind, you don't want to turn this on, either gas or electric. You don't want to turn it on unless you have water in the tank. So once camping season starts and you're ready to go, make sure you fill the water heater tank, which is directly attached to this in the back. Make sure you fill that up before you turn on the heating element or the gas valve, okay? The gas burner. All right, I'll show you the switches when we get inside. Okay, so this is cable and satellite through to the inside of the trailer. That housing tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera, so if you're interested in getting the Furrion backup camera kit that fits in that housing, you can go ahead and get it, and it'll let you see what's happening behind you when you're backing up, and even if you want to when you're driving down the road. There's a monitor that goes in your tow vehicle so you can see what's happening, okay? That's made by Furrion. While we're looking up, the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 60 days, so you want to go up there on a regular basis. It should be part of your regular maintenance program. And you're going to look at the sealant on the roof, make sure there's no cracking or separation, any place that water can get through. Make sure there's no damage to any of the roofing material or attachments by, let's say, low branches or road debris flying up there, whatever. You're just looking it over to make sure that everything's okay. Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long time, but that's why you inspect it, just to make sure. Okay. This is your control panel right here. Your awning, your power awning right here, as you can see. Never leave that out unattended. Always roll it in if you're not going to be at the campsite. This is the switch for your slide room. All right. Your water pump, I told you about the water pump to pump water out of the fresh water tank. It's right there. That pump is also used to winterize the trailer. To let your water heater on gas or electric, they're both right there. Remember, you never run the water heater without water in it. These are just lights here. Then you have your battery, which is charged. Fresh water is empty. Black is empty. Gray 1 is empty. So on and so forth. It graduates up in 1/3 increments. So once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray and the black tanks. All right. This switch here, you can't run the air conditioner and the fireplace at the same time, right? And why would you want to? But you can't do that. So right now, because it's cold out, we got it switched to fireplace. Of course, once it gets warm out, you flip the switch up and you'll run the air conditioner. But this is set for fireplace right now. The fireplace is right here. Here's your remote here. And looks like he's got it on right now. It's also a good space heater, so it really kicks out the heat. Runs on campground power. What am I doing here? Uh-oh, I think we need a new battery for that. I'll make sure it's working when you pick up. We'll just use the buttons here. So off, on. You can select your temperature right there. I don't know if you can see it up there. There's a little readout right here, okay? And then of course you can set the picture or the flame and the intensity of it right there. So there's a lot you can do with it, and it's a really good space heater. It's kicking right now. It's really kicking them out. So on those days where you don't need the furnace, you can just run this and you can use campground electricity instead of your limited supply of LP. Alrighty, your sound bar is right here. This is the remote. Wait a minute, I think you still got, oh, this is why it wasn't working. You still got the tab in your fireplace remote here. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. Okay, now let's try it. There, so now it's working. Okay.
The triple box check right there. You save up to 75% a year on your
Shut this
wireless.
off. Okay, so this is your sound bar here. So basically it has FM radio. You can stream off a USB stick. You know, you can put whatever you want on there, MP3s, whatever. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone to your tablet. It has two speaker zones, zone A and B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside the trailer. So it does a lot. You obviously you would hang your TV here. There's a backing plate here so you can put a bracket. So if you want to put a TV in there, you'd put it right there, okay? And it's your remote. Okay, so these are the keys hanging on the faucet handle there. Alright, so your microwave works like any other microwave. Your range hood vent, fan, and light, of course. Your range, you basically have 3 knobs for the 3 burners, and then this is the sparker. You spark it by turning it clockwise. Let's see if we can get it going here. Right, like that. It's very simple. This one is for the oven. So there's a pilot light all the way at the back. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all the way at the bottom at the back. I'm sparking it right now. Maybe you can see it back there. So what you do to light it, you're just going to go to the picture of the pilot, light the flame, and then you're going to depress it. You keep it depressed. Then with the other hand, you're going to spark it till it lights down here. Once you see the pilot light, you still hold this down for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to whatever temperature you want. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light, obviously. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. You also have a light here. Okay. Alrighty. Down here, this device is your power converter. So this converts AC to DC power. It's kind of automatic in the sense that it'll automatically detect your batteries, what kind you have. And it's a battery tender, so it'll automatically sense how much energy your battery has. As long as you're plugged into shore power, it will sense how much energy your battery has and send enough up to your battery. This is the battery in the front, enough to your battery to keep it charged. So it charges your battery. Of course, when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle charges the battery. So when you're plugged in, this is the distribution center like you'd have at home. You have 110 AC circuit breakers here. They're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses. They're all labeled. Okay, so it does your AC. It turns AC to DC, plus it charges your battery. Okay, that's the power converter. Your refrigerator is a DC compressor refrigerator, so it runs on DC power, 12 volts. Very simple, on and off. You set your temperature up and down right here, and these are power saving modes. So you can, nighttime mode will use less energy than daytime, so it's just a way to save some energy. Right here, next to this panel, is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green. If it's not green, glowing green, you get it serviced because it's very important. So if it goes off, it's detected carbon monoxide or LP gas. You take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off of the front, figure out what's going on, okay? This is your thermostat. It's very simple. You just poke the mode bar and then you just scroll through it from section to section, okay? It goes from fan, which is the air conditioner running without the compressor, just circulates air. Then it'll go to cool, which is air conditioning. If it gives you an option, always choose auto for the fan. And then the next one would be furnace, which is your LP furnace, and then off. Okay. He's got this off right here, but I'll show it to you. He's still prepping apparently, but these are the valves on the back of your water heater, just so you know. Right now it's bypassed. You can see the antifreeze was bypassed around here, so it's still in camping mode. You have to turn it to camping, or it's still in winter mode. You have to change them when you're getting ready to put in camping mode. But you can educate yourself a bit on that, or you can have it done by somebody else. Your sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The toilet is an RV toilet, so it's got a flush pedal right here. It sits right over the black tank. You can see there's antifreeze in it right now. So the idea is you can't use it dry. You have to have chemical and water in it. Otherwise the smell will be terrible and it can get clogged up also. So after you hook up your power and your water, you'll come in here, you'll dump a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll step on the pedal and hold it down until you put at least a gallon of water in it. Then you're ready to use it. So you got at least a gallon of water plus a dose of chemical, and it's all set to be used. But don't use it dry. Alrighty. Back to the bunk room. These, this couch jackknifes flat. You get an extra mat that actually stores underneath the couch there, and all these spaces to sleep. So, and you have a built-in ladder, of course. An escape window, emergency escape window right here. There's another one up front. You just push this all the way through, and then you would grab a hold of this red tab and pull the screen out, and you can escape during an emergency. Okay. We also have TV hookup here. in the backer plate, right? This is telling you this is pre-wired for this signal booster Wi-Fi deal. So it also has 4G, but you won't have to worry about, most people don't even worry about that. They use the feature, if they get this option, they use a feature that has an antenna on the roof for Wi-Fi and a route in the box that sits right here, or hooks right there, which is a router. Basically just gives you better public Wi-Fi. It's a good signal booster, and all your devices will hook to the router, and then the Galaxy device itself will hook up to the public Wi-Fi. It just gives you a better, more powerful signal. Okay, that's an option. If you're interested, just use either scan the code or go to the website. So right now this table is down. It's in the stowed mode and you're going to use it as a bed, obviously you would take these cushions and fill in this space and you get a bed, right? This one here is a jackknife also, so you can jackknife it flat, turn it into another bed, so there's another 2 beds for visitors and cousins and friends, whoever you got visiting you. Okay, here in the master bedroom, it's pretty typical. You can lift up the bed and there's storage underneath there, of course. You have TV hookups here, right, if you want to add that. You have the same escape window right here. You have a GFCI plug here. There's 2 of them in this trailer, so every plug in the trailer is wired through a GFCI, even the one on the outside. So even if it's not physically a GFCI, it's a regular plug, a regular duplex plug, it's still wired through one. So if you pop it outside, you're going to reset it in here. Okay, you have these here. Now these, just so you know, I mean you're not going to go to a dealer if you're up in Montana or something. There's no need to. The tighter these things are, the better this will stay up. It's a little loose right now, so I'll have our guy tighten it, I think. But if they just flop down when you don't want them to, you're just going to pull this through and you're going to just tighten this up about a ½ inch, and then it'll take the slack out of it and it'll be more resistant, so it'll be tougher to move. You don't go overboard with it, you don't want to break them, but you want to adjust them so it's a little more snug than that. Okay, I'm just telling you how to do that so you don't have to. Everybody eventually they'll kind of loosen up, and somewhere down the road they'll have to be adjusted, and there's no reason to go through any rigmarole to do it. It's very simple. Like I said, you just pull this through, tie another knot in it about a ½ inch up, and that's all you got to do. Okay, alrighty, or you can bring it in. Okay, so let me look around here. I always travel with this shut. Okay, that's important because it tends to bounce around if you leave it open. Alright, so thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof. That's part of your maintenance. People, generally speaking, don't inspect it enough. If you keep after that, you're not going to be surprised by any problems, like damage by road debris or low branches, for example. So you'll be ahead of everything, and you're just protecting your investment. So it's a good thing to do. Also, like I stated, right now this is winterized. That means the water's been purged from the system and replaced with antifreeze. Before that happened, the water heater was bypassed by those valves I showed you and emptied. So the water heater is empty and bypassed, and there's antifreeze in the system. So you're all good for the winter until you flush it all out in the summertime. Okay? Thank you very much.